Hi, this is Yvonne Wessa with Short Sale Advocates. And I thought today we'd discuss a few of the examples or reasons why a home buyer would choose a short sale as their avenue of moving on with their life. There are so many reasons why people run into what the investor, what your lien holder call hardships that allow them to pursue this avenue. First of all, remember that a short sale exists when a homeowner can no longer make the mortgage payments or needs to move for any of a variety of reasons. The market demands less for the home than what the lien holder has on the loan. So the seller cannot afford to sell in a normal traditional marketplace because, for instance, he may owe $100,000 and the value of the home is $70,000. Believe it or not, these situations exist today. One example, which we've had happen several times, is a longtime investor owns actually several properties plus his own home. He's older now, has a little more trouble doing the maintenance on the buildings himself. In this situation, he has a tenant that has ruined the home, has not made payments. It's taken a while to get that tenant out of the home, and it's put the investor at risk. He has another property that has had some problems with the tenant, even though he's more stable now, but still caused a bit of a hiccup in his income stream. He now no longer works another job and is just having a difficult time maintaining not only his own property, but the 4 investment properties. So the one property, he's actually underwater, owes more on it than what the market will bring. Plus, it needs some, not a lot, but painting, some maintenance and repairs. All in all, his total income is now less than what it costs to maintain and keep the mortgage payments up on all the properties. This is generally not it's a more traditional loan. So it can be closed within 2 to 3 months, sometimes even sooner than that. The same documents are supplied as there is for loan modification. So in all these cases, except for one, except for an inherited home, the homeowner provides his proof of income, even if it's an award letter, Social Security letter, copies of bank statements. And the important thing is 2 years tax returns. If you haven't paid taxes, you cannot do a short sale. We've had a couple of instances where people turn 65 and suddenly they think that they don't have to do taxes. Actually, it's probably a benefit for them to file their taxes because generally they, as a homeowner, they have some a return on their investment, credits for interest on their loans, etc. Nevertheless, we try to guide them to a tax preparer that will help them if they don't have their taxes ready. So another instance, a young woman, loved her condo, just loved her condo, had purchased it several years ago, had refinanced 1 year prior to losing her job. This lien holder decided that he wasn't going to consider a short sale because she had just refinanced. We argued for months with this guy because that really has no bearing on the ability or the inability to close a short sale. We finally won, but this kind of attitude makes it extremely difficult, and it's isolated to the lien holder and the negotiator, where we had no other option but to work with him. This woman took a few months for her to get another job, and it was a job paying a little bit less than she was making before. Plus, it was a good 45-minute drive from where her condo was. So she was underwater severely by the time we were able to negotiate the short sale. This is quite a common hardship reason. Another one, a little unusual, a single young man purchased a downtown loft. Within the year of owning the loft, he met and married the woman of his dreams. The loft was one open room. Even the bedroom was divided, used a room divider to separate it from the rest of the unit. It was beautiful loft, but it was totally unsuitable for maybe not two people, but certainly for a family, because it was in an area where there were no schools except for private. Plus, there just wasn't room for a baby or any place to take a child outside to play or walk or anything. So that was a little unusual reason to do a short sale, but didn't take too long. Got a great buyer who loved the loft, and I think everybody lived happily ever after once that was closed. And it took probably about 3.5 to 4 months, so it wasn't too bad. Then another situation which does occur is people will put a trustee or do a beneficiary deed in case something happens to them. This occurs a lot of times when people move into assisted living or a skilled care facility. They are having health issues. They may designate someone to take care of the home, sell it, and deal with the rest of their personal properties once they have died. This trustee was a young, probably a couple in their maybe early 50s. When I met them, they were so totally overwhelmed. They had this additional property, which was probably a half an hour from where they lived. It was a house full of furniture. The biggest issue, or an exciting part of this home, was the entire lower level was like a museum. This couple had been since dealing with missing in action military since World War II military vets. There were file cabinets, photos, books, everything, model airplanes, everything from the entire lower level was filled with memorabilia and records from the cases that they were following, trying to find MIAs. It just was one of those miracles. It was 2 or 3 days prior to my having been contacted by this couple that a friend that one of those friends, we speak every couple of years, known each other for a long time. And he mentioned that he was part of two museums that were being formed, one for World War II and one for Vietnam items in two local museums. Well, it didn't take long. Over the next 5 days, several people from the museums came and rescued all this stuff and took the MIA materials, and I know it was in good hands. So the trustees were thrilled. We helped them. They thought they would have to repair carpeting and do a whole bunch of stuff, but we have great carpet cleaner that we recommended, and the carpeting looked brand new. It went on the market and actually went into competition, multiple offers received, and it took very short time. In this case, and this is the only case other than a beneficiary deed, which is a similar situation, where a lot of documents are not needed. We needed just the death certificate, the trustee information, and no financials, no other normal modification documents in order to proceed and close the short sale. Believe it or not, marriage has been one of the items that we've had to deal with very often, more than divorce. Two people get married and discover that one of the homes or both are underwater. Now, in all the cases that I dealt with, the couple did decide to live in one of the homes, but that left the other one to a short sale. Believe me, it is so much easier if you do this prior to getting married. Along with all the wedding plans, contact us so we can get you out of that situation before you combine financials, tax returns. That is the hardest thing, because in order to make a short sale work, we always have to prove that you cannot afford to keep the home, or that you're unable to keep it by being incapacitated. So it is so much more difficult to take bank statements and try to prove what is or isn't income that is being used to maintain the second home that you're trying to sell, or especially if you combine your tax returns. It is difficult. We've had a couple of situations where the second person involved is in business or has quite a lot of income, and we must separate that income from the other person's income and ability to take care of the home. We have to prove that the second person is not going to be responsible for that second home. So call us, contact us just as soon as you can. If you've already married, you have one of these homes, give us a call as quickly as possible. Or if you're planning to get married and you will have this situation, better yet, contact us before the sun goes down today. People become incapacitated by illness or an accident, and this can be at any age. So even a 40-year-old, if they have an accident that may require a great deal of recovery time, and they are part of a second income or even the primary income for supporting the household, this can really make a difference and is one of the easier processes to deal with when you're trying to do a short sale, because we can provide doctors letters or verification of the situation. Divorce is another situation. And again, do not file for divorce or get a divorce before you have the short sale on the home resolved. Some people think that bankruptcy is going to solve the issue. Bankruptcy does not solve the issue. It makes it really difficult because we have to file with the trustee for the court because the home is held in with the rest of the properties and has to be resolved. The trustee can't resolve it without doing a short sale, and they are not prepared generally to process a short sale. The bottom line, it really delays the whole process before it can even be started for 30 to 60 days. So you're down the road in a bigger mess than, because you can't really finish the bankruptcy. In many cases, a bankruptcy is not necessary once the burden of this mortgage is removed. People just get overwhelmed and they think that their credit cards and the mortgage require a bankruptcy as a solution. It really may not be. It may just, you may be able to resolve the credit card issues by contacting the credit card companies and negotiating some sort of deal, and we will help you solve the mortgage requirement. The loss of income from a loss of a job or death of a primary contributor to the household is probably one of the major issues. And this definitely can be from divorce, but it can be from a lot of other situations too. People who are even cut from a full-time job to some sort of partial job at the same company, it's still a loss of income and maybe not giving enough to make the normal mortgage payments. With any of these situations, if you have a government like FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, a government entity as the investor, they have a few different requirements. For instance, most short sales can go through what is called a modification before you go officially to the short sale department. With FHA, they still do that process first, so that you have to go through this, what they call a waterfall process, which is simply a modification. And it takes about 3 months. So no matter what your hardship is, you just have to go through this process. Same documents that we require for a short sale, but it takes longer. It can add 2 to 4 months onto the process of a short sale. So when you have a conventional loan or a bank-held loan, generally we can cut the processing time at least to 3 or 4 months rather than 4 to 6 or 8 months as with a government investor. So if you have any mortgage issues, as we've just talked about, we always tell you, put away the tissues. Contact us, www.shortsaleadvocatesllc.com, or call us 314-590-3785. We'll see you again soon. Let us know if you have questions or would like to see video answers on another short sale topic. Have a great day.